Hey everyone, and welcome. So today we're going to tackle a really common and, let's be honest, super frustrating puzzle. Why is it that people who are totally fluent in English, I mean, you can read, you can write, you can have a great conversation, still get stuck with a TOEFL score that just doesn't make sense? Let's dive in and figure this out.
Does this sound like you? You know your English is good. You watch movies, you read articles, you talk to people, but then that TOEFL score comes back and it's just a gut punch. It's so frustrating, and it probably has you wondering, what on earth went wrong?
Well, the first thing I want you to know is you're definitely not alone. Actually, this is an incredibly common problem, especially for really bright, academically strong students. The issue isn't you, it's not your English. The real problem is a huge misunderstanding about what the test is even for.
Okay, so let's start by unpacking that core misunderstanding, because honestly, this is the single biggest hurdle where most people trip up before they even really start studying. So the biggest mistake people make is thinking the TOEFL is there to measure how much English you know. I mean, it seems logical, right? It's an English test. But that one simple, incorrect idea, well, it leads to all the wrong kinds of study habits. I mean, does your study plan look anything like this? Spending hours memorizing these giant lists of obscure vocabulary, trying to speak as fast as humanly possible to sound fluent, or writing these super long essays just hoping that more words will get you more points? This is the trap, and it's all based on that false idea that more English is the key. It's just not.
So if the test isn't about how much English you know, then what is it actually designed to measure? This right here, this is the turning point that is going to completely change how you look at this exam.
This really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If all that time you spent on vocabulary and speed isn't the answer, then what is? What are the people who made this test really looking for?
This one sentence changes absolutely everything. Think of it this way. Having good English skills, that's just the ticket you need to get into the movie theater. It's the prerequisite. But the test itself, the assessment, that's all about what you do once you're inside. It's about how you perform.
And here's the thing you have to understand. The TOEFL is an academic performance exam. It's basically a simulation. It's built to see how well you can handle the very specific pressures of a university classroom. You know, listening to a lecture, jumping into a discussion, reading a dense textbook, and writing an essay when the clock is ticking. And this gets to the why of it all. Universities use the TOEFL to answer a really practical question. They're not asking, hey, does this student know a bunch of fancy English words? No, they're asking, can this person survive and even thrive in our demanding graduate program? Can they process information fast and get their ideas across clearly, especially under pressure?
This table right here makes that distinction so clear. The TOEFL rewards control, clarity, and efficiency. It has absolutely zero interest in your creativity or emotional expression or some kind of fancy stylistic flair. You have to remember this. A simple, clear, direct answer will always score higher than a beautiful, complex, but kind of confusing one, every single time.
Okay, that brings us to our next big point. To really nail the TOEFL, you have to get the difference between how we talk every day and how you're expected to communicate in a school setting. They are two different worlds. Just think about how you talk to a friend. You use fillers, right? Like, you know? You repeat yourself, you kind of wander off topic, and that's totally normal. But academic English is the exact opposite. It demands a clear main point right at the beginning, a logical flow, no wasted words, and examples that directly prove your point. That's the style you need for the TOEFL. And here's a little peek behind the curtain at the scoring. The examiners are trained to look for these 4 things above everything else. Is your answer easy to follow? Did you actually answer the question they asked? Is your focus on the big ideas, not the tiny little details? And is it structured? Just notice, impressive vocabulary is not on this list. Coherence is king. Okay, so now that we've cracked the code on what this test is really all about, how do we actually prepare for it? Let's lay out the new game plan. All right, here's the new plan. First, you have to shift your goal. You're not just improving your English anymore. From now on, you are mastering academic communication. Second, focus on those core academic skills that the test uses over and over again. And third, and this is so important, analyze your practice. Don't just do 100 practice tests.
Do one, and then spend twice as long picking it apart to understand exactly why the right answers are right and the wrong ones are wrong. These are the skills that really, truly matter. And you know what the great thing is? They're universal. The skill of finding the central idea, that's tested in reading, listening, speaking, and writing. So if you get really good at telling the main points from the minor details, your score is going to go up across all 4 sections of the test at the same time. Look, if you take nothing else away from this today, please remember these 3 words: structure, clarity, and control. Let them be your guide for everything you do to prepare. Ask yourself, is my speaking structured? Is my writing clear? Am I in control of this information? Mastering these is how you get that high score. And that leaves us with one last, really crucial question to ask yourself every single time you sit down to study. Are you just practicing English, or are you practicing the very specific skills of academic communication? Because the answer to that question, that's what will determine your success.